All right, everybody. This is purely what we would call an archive video in the sense that hard to say if anyone will see this or this is for the real fan, the midweek practice stream, right? But surprise guest. Anyways, before we get to the guests, the players look amazing today because they're in full uniform. Having had some pictures taken today, I think for the yearbook, promotional shots. But as per all practices,
The question was, did you say anything? I hope I'm not being offensive, by the way. Did you say anything? Okay.
Hector really working the team as he does on the fundamentals.
I'm assuming because of the wind and all this drone stuff and airplanes.
Yeah, Hector is really demanding a lot of communication, which is something I'd love to talk to about with my special guest. There's one of her moms over there. We're honored today to have the BLP in the house, in the booth. Nobody's watching. It's just for posterity in a way. BLP is the host of 3-9 live streams. He has made New Roads live streaming a reality with hosting the feed on his website, YouTube website for 3-9 Baseball, the incredible tabletop dice baseball game. Mr. Bob Laporta.
Hey, nice to be here.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm watching the team, and like I've said, I never see close-ups of them.
Yeah.
You know, and I just know them by their numbers, and it's great to be here. They're in full uniform. They're going through an infield drill. Situations where Hector's telling them who's on base, where they
They're
are.
working on bunting.
Yeah.
Let's keep it down a little bit.
Oh,
We don't have to
okay.
talk too much.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't want to be distracting. I think they're working on situational bunting,
Yes.
right? So they're
Yes.
having,
Yeah.
it's good.
Covering bases. Yeah.
So who's charging? It looks like he has Jackson charging from first. And do they have the third baseman collapsing as well?
Yeah, and then the shortstop covers second, and the pitcher might go over and cover third.
Let's see. I think the shortstop covers third, right?
Well,
Isn't that true?
unless he has to come in,
Depends on where the
if they lay
runners
it
are,
down
right?
the third baseline.
I worry about Elio. Look at him. Got his arm. Right, so Osamino charging. Third baseman. Oh, I see. That's interesting.
Do not
So-
look at the runner. You just do your job and throw it over the bag. It's 1,000, 2,000. Again.
If you notice, third baseman charges when he has seen the throw go to second. Watch third base. See, covering the bag, boom, he's charging. Got to make that throw.
You got to make those throws, right?
All right, I'm here because, well, we're here to watch. But I want to hear what you were about to say when we first arrived. And I think it's an astute comment. You having observed this team from this beginning of this season, but understanding also what they were even last season.
Well, let's put it into perspective first, okay? I've been watching baseball since 1950. 1950. Now
Why then? You just
well,
distinctly remember.
television. Television came into our world, and the Phillies were in the World Series with the Yankees, the whiz kids, the Phillies. And my good friend was a big Phillies fan, so this was a big deal. So I've watched maybe 1,000 games.
7,000 baseball games. You
Coached Little League, played, in school for the team.
Right.
And, of course, I've been watching the boys here in California since they started in Pony.
T-ball even. There was
Yeah,
a
T-ball.
moment of T-ball.
T-ball.
Right.
And there's no greater joy for a grandfather to see his grandson especially when they have their names on the back of their uniforms, to play. And people ask where 3-9 baseball came from, and it came from keeping score at Elio's pony game. And it was around the time when a documentary was out on saving baseball cards, the phenomenon that young people are involved in or were involved in. I certainly was. I'm sad to say I had Mickey Mantle's rookie card that my mother gave away.
Wait, you had his rookie card. It was probably mint condition at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to say.
Because we used to flip cards to win them from your friends. But I never used a Mickey Mantle card to flip.
So you understood.
Yeah, the value.
It was just a great player card to not
Pretty
damage
special.
on the flipping.
Right. So on the drive home from that game from Santa Monica back to San Diego, I began to think about baseball cards and keeping score.
I'm gonna put this on a. It's a little easier when it's on a stick.
Oh,
Okay. I know, right?
this is real wildcat shooting.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
So
Honestly, on the ride home, having kept score.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
On the right, and I kept score at those games because, frankly, in Pony or Little League, the people in the stands don't know what the score is, how many outs are. So I felt I was contributing. I was telling people what the score was and how many outs and that kind of thing.
People would see you keeping score. Or
Yeah, they'd
say,
come up to
okay,
me.
What do we got? What do we got?
Yeah, what's the score? So in the drive going home, I put the two together. And I remembered that my best friend and I, that Philly fan I talked about, used to play a dice game where we would lay our cards down on the carpets in our houses. And, Mickey Mantle was in center and Gene Woodling was in right field, or Hank Bauer was in right field, Yogi Berra, Phil Rizzuto, Whitey Ford on the mound. And we'd roll the dice. And 2 dice. So you get from 2 to 12, right? 11 numbers. So we weren't very imaginative. 2 was a double, 3 was a triple, 4 was a home run, etc. And I thought to myself, what an interesting thing if I could come up with a dice baseball game. And I began to work on it, and that was the genesis of 3-9 baseball. And
Hold on one sec. We do have a viewer. I see. Look.
Really?
So I want to welcome you. We're at the midweek practice. Hector, look at him running them.
Yes, so
He's really
this
working
is the first time I've seen
what it looks like.
you see when
Yeah.
you're broadcasting.
Yeah.
Now, where does the message come up?
It would come up if you're listening and logged in. If you could type in a comment, we could see what. Tell us who you are, who's watching.
Yeah.
But I'm interviewing Bob Laporta, who typically hosts the streams on 3-9 Baseball. He's up from San Diego, and I'm interviewing him about his impressions of the team, and he's telling us the story of his coming to create the game at 3-9 Baseball as he was watching Elio play baseball as a young. He must have been a Mustang or
Yeah.
What is he even younger? Pinto. I think it was Pinto.
Yeah.
So, if you're able to type a comment, it'd be cool for us to see what that looks like. Anyways,
Yeah.
all right, continue. So,
Well, in a sense, I tell that story because the New Roads Jaguars.
right under the airport. The drone pilot who was flying a moment ago, there were police here for a game that was happening before, and he pulled out the drone, and they said, you're not allowed to fly that here.
Yeah.
And
Too
it's
close to the airport.
Yeah, the FAA restricts that airspace.
Because I tell the story how it was born because this year for the Jags is their birth, in a sense.
Yeah.
And you see new teams coming along. I saw a lot of expansion. When I started in 1950, there were 16 teams, period. 8 in the National, 8 in the American. And then expansion teams started coming in. And in a sense, this is an expansion team for New Roads High School.
All right, hold on. If they make a mistake, he's having them run. And Jackson didn't charge from first. And, yeah, they run to the... He's really old school that way.
Well,
Yeah, he's
the point is, baseball is not simple.
No.
It's not an easy game to play. You look at it, you can see 100 games, and you think it's just people batting and running and throwing. But, I experienced it through your mother, my wife, Esther. She asks questions, and she's learning about baseball through this whole exercise. Watching Elio, watching the Jaguars, watching the Padres.
There were a couple of balks last game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yes,
but
I do. And the umpire was teaching the pitcher. He went out and he showed him what he must do. He must come to a set position. And he wasn't doing that.
So there's a balk, but there's the reason why he balk. There are so many ways to balk. So,
And by the way, there is a balk in 3-9 baseball. I don't
Just
mean,
one?
I don't mean. I think there's only one slot for
that
a
you
balk.
get when you roll the dice
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
balk. And so the batter doesn't do anything, but it's whoever's on
It's
base.
on the pitcher. Yeah, if there's nobody on base,
Yeah.
nothing happens.
Right.
So I introduced 3 dice, so we have many more possibilities in 3-9 baseball. But back to the Jaguars. I heard one of the greatest things in the broadcast Saturday from a teacher who said he notices an energy on the campus that these kids are bringing to the campus when they talk baseball and think about baseball. And it's such a wonderful thing. He actually said he doesn't see it in some of the other activities. So it can be a heartbeat of a high school.
Also, I don't think I've told you this, but Hector implemented the wearing of the game jersey on game day at school.
Yeah.
Just to promote there is this group of kids who are up to something.
Sure.
Right?
That's right.
Creating a culture.
So another teacher talked about how young they are. There are a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this team, so they have years to look forward to where this school will be noticed, and kids will want to come here to play baseball, like the other great high schools in Los Angeles that have tremendous sports histories.
Let's see this. He's asking Elio to come to a set position and look home for a 3,000, 1,000.
Oh, I
Watch.
see,
One,
I
he's
see.
squaring away to bunt. 2,000, 1,000, and now go.
I see.
All right.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
part of the illusion, not illusion. What's what they're trying to do is his commitment to pretend he's coming home with the ball.
Right. And by the way, any good program has to start with a coach.
Yeah.
And I tell you, what I've heard and seen of Hector this season, and how he works the kids, and how he's patient with some of the bonehead plays they've done. Which you have to expect that.
Yeah.
You
No,
have to expect it.
We've seen growing pains for sure. A lot of growing pains. Although we've also seen tremendous strides.
Yes.
I mean, look what they're doing with the left fielder, right?
Yes.
Right.
Backing up.
I remember playing baseball, and you know this, that every single play, you got to run through your head what the heck you're supposed to do
If I get the ball,
or
yeah.
even not if I don't get the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's
in this
true.
case, the left
That's
fielder
true.
is running to back up third base. I mean,
And when we started with these boys, there were kids, picking dandelions in the outfield. I mean, they were just totally...
you mean back in pony
in the
days?
old, in those days. Now you got to pay attention.
I'll be on your toes.
On your toes, exactly. Or you're going to let the team down. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and that's also something they're learning is Elio, the pitcher, throwing to the bag, even if the guy's not there.
Right,
It's up to
right,
the player to get to cover that bag.
You know what I was thinking about today? When I was in 7th grade, I was a catcher on the school team, and I batted .077.
For what, the season?
Yeah, for the season. And I think to myself now, I hit the ball solid every time, but it went right to somebody. How do you become a 300 hitter? How do you play? You can't place the ball, over the shortstop's head, over the second. But believe it or not, you can when you swing correctly, when you move your hands and hips. See, we had no coaching, no coaching. I had no idea the right way to bat. But these kids are told this.
I think also it's like, okay, you work so many times on a tee, you have so many reps in the cage, you know a fastball down the middle, how to swing at it to hit a line drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Low and outside, you work on that.
Now,
yeah.
I don't know who's watching or how you're going to use this, but can I talk about my favorite subject, basically, is uniforms? And
Well, what will be fun is I'll be up on the ladder, the home game Friday.
I won't be.
I know you won't be able to speak to it, but tell everyone, what you look for in a ball player
Okay.
and why.
Well, from 1950, probably up until the 70s. That's 20-some years. Baseball players looked alike. Now, the Oakland A's did some different things. The White Sox had collars on their uniform one
Shorts.
year.
One game.
The
Shorts.
Yeah, shorts. The White Sox. The A's had sleeveless, and that was actually because of Ted Kluszewski, who was a first baseman for the Cincinnati Reds, and he had such tremendous arms.
No, good Walker. Go.
You don't want to hit the coach.
Yeah, you don't want to hit him.
Maybe you wanted to. Hector should have charged.
The Houston Astros were outrageous at one point. Their colors, Cleveland went sleeveless, but pretty much the big change came I believe in the mid 70s, early 70s. I have to look it up.
80s.
You think
George
80s?
Hendricks?
Yeah, George Hendricks.
You got to give him a nickname, George,
I
the
wish something.
Pajama George.
Yeah. He came
Pajama
out,
George.
He came out in pants that went down to his ankles, and there were no socks at all.
Essentially, let me point.
And I'm calling them pajamas.
Let's see. That right there.
Yeah,
Those versus those.
that's right.
There it
That's
is.
right.
Okay.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah.
They wearing pajamas out there.
Yeah.
Now, look at Xavier. He has knickers. Elio has knickers.
Jackson.
Jackson. Fox. This is baseball.
Gemma a bit.
This is Gemma.
A bit. And
Look at 12.
Shell.
Yeah.
Shell.
And my grandsons, as an homage to me, they're so loyal, and they wear their pants short. Now, I could go farther and insist on stirrups, but that might be asking too much.
There's something about the uniformity of a uniform.
Yes.
A whole team coming
called
together.
uniform.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess it comes down to deciding what that's going to be. Would you prefer a mishmash like this?
No.
Or all long pants or all knickers? I mean, what if it's all... I mean, this is haphazard.
That's a tough question. I've seen colleges on SEC or Big Ten, all in knickers, all in with stirrups, and I was hoping that our team here on the field would come out like that. I think it would make an impression.
Well, I think it does. And knowing top level, Elio's travel team switched to knickers.
Yeah.
But the irony is, they switched to knickers as the prescription for the uniform. and they have those cool sleeveless shirts with
Yeah.
sleeves
That was cool.
and button down.
Yeah.
But some kids still went out and bought their own long pants. There was always the one or two kids.
They did. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really hard to know if it'll ever come back to
It'll never
one.
come back 100%.
Because so many guys are wearing long pants in the pros. You can only hope those kids who wore it on
In
those
high
college
school,
teams,
went to
that
college.
mandatory, or
Right.
seem to be team-wide, will stick with that.
Right.
And it'll eventually fade away. You can only hope. But
I-
now you see a mishmash. Versus the NFL makes you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's uniform regulation.
You pay a penalty, don't you? If you
I don't think you're even allowed to come on the field. I think if you're able to sneak it by the equipment manager, you do pay a fine. You know, you can't show skin. The pants have to be at the knee. The socks have to be all the way up,
That's right. You
That's
can't show
interesting.
skin on
No.
your leg.
or on your waist.
Now, there are guys in baseball that have these little touches, like the back pocket pulled out, that was kind of popular 10, 15
Is that what it
years
is,
ago.
or was it a glove in the pocket?
No, it was the lining of the pocket
Actually pulled out. I don't
pulled
remember
out.
that.
Oh yeah, and I saw a guy the other day in the majors with that.
Look at Hector backed off now because he doesn't want to get hit.
Yeah, look at the left fielders
Yeah.
going over there.
Yeah.
It's also a terrific thing that Gemma's on the team.
No doubt. That's her father over there and her twin brother. Yeah. They're the one, and that's Fox's son and Fox's mom. They're the one making the documentary about the team. You know, I think Hector asks a lot of them at this level to understand all the signals he's giving them. This is a play with the man on first and third, I believe, right?
Make the call out there.
Right. So Elio has a signal he gives
see, I
for men on first and third.
I
Men
see.
on first and third.
I see.
And then they all know what it is. It's either throw to the shortstop, throw to second base, throw the shortstop.
Yeah, right. He's not using his catcher's glove either.
No, I'm not sure why.
Well,
I'm not
because
sure.
he might have to go into the infield.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I really want to say, I was not a good baseball player, so I don't want that impression to go through. As a matter of fact, I tried out for the varsity my sophomore year, and I was pretty good outfielder, you know. And then they went up to bat, and I went up against Tom McCaffrey, who was a great basketball player, and he
Good athlete. Huh?
threw curveballs. I could not. I didn't hit one. I could not hit the curve.
This was practice?
In the tryouts,
Oh.
in the tryouts, I could not hit a curve. So guess what? Neither of us made it.
He didn't make it.
He didn't either. I mean, he couldn't field, but he had he had a curveball. So I can't pose myself as a player. But
Neither can I. I wasn't a good player myself. I mean, average, fair to average. But here's my goal. You know, now that I've taken to broadcasting, I'm hoping to model myself after Jerry Coleman. That you sound like an expert enough that they bring you on to manage.
That's right.
You talk a good game. No, he played. He was an athlete. He was a player.
You know something? Since you've been doing this, I have such a high regard for announcers.
Me too.
It is not easy.
I know. It's
It
not.
is not easy. I watch you. I listen to you. When do you talk? When don't you talk? When do you tell a story? When don't you tell a story? When do you explain what's going on out there?
Right. I have found myself watching other broadcasters, listening
Do
now
you? Do you?
to pick up on those. You know, are they when did things happen? You know, they do tend to call a lot more of play-by-play than I do.
Yes, without
Ball,
a doubt.
you know,
Without a
that's a
doubt.
ball. It's a strike.
But you have one advantage. you're very close to the umpire.
Yeah.
And you've often had a conversation with the umpire clarifying something,
Yeah, that's
and that's
unusual.
really helpful. There was something one of these games. I missed one, the one that wasn't televised. Or was it?
No, the one I wasn't there to stream it.
Yeah.
The one where Elio pitched. That's who we're playing Friday.
Yeah, okay.
That big
Okay,
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good team.
So this is all good. Everything is good about this.
Let's see what
He has complete attention of everybody out there.
Yeah, he really
Everybody is tuned into him.
Yeah. And there's his two assistants. So Eric in right field in the black.
Yes.
That's his one. And then Justin
Yes.
in the black there. Eric's an alum. And then Coach Hector. So I'd love to talk to one of them because I won't be able to see him tomorrow to get a sense of Friday's game, but I don't want to bother Hector.
Well, that, frankly, Rob,
Let's see what's going on.
most announcers don't have that advantage.
Pre-game chat? Sure they do.
No.
Oh.
Your information that you have from
Yeah.
what they're
Inside,
going to
inside.
work on, what they're
Yeah.
going to try to do today,
Right.
like that whole small ball thing.
Right.
You cued us into that as listeners.
And they really did it.
And they did
started
it.
to
They
do
did it. There was satisfaction to that. But if they didn't, it would have been frustrating.
Yeah.
So you gotta weigh those things. I'd also like to hear more about the individual kids.
Yeah.
This past broadcast was very heavy on Samano and Elio, of course. I understand that. And then Jackson, with his grand slam, which
Yeah,
is just wonderful to see the whole team rally around him.
So you see Bishop at first base.
Yeah.
So you get a sense of his size, maybe that you can't quite see.
You can't
He's
see.
the kid that's new to baseball, basketball guy.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Let me ask you a question. Substitution. Can you put Bishop in to run for Xavier, let's say, and then Xavier stays in the game?
I think so. We've seen that, right?
Yeah,
I've seen
I
that.
thought I've seen
I'm going to try and adjust this to pick up more of the field. Here, hold the
they're
stick.
like pinch runners almost.
Yeah. Well, I think it's exactly what they are, right? Pinch
Yeah.
runners.
Yeah. But in pro, they have to stay in the game, and you have to
I know.
replace them.
I know, right. So it's interesting.
Okay, this is the play. Man on first and third, one out or no outs, and the runner goes from first to try to draw a throw. Now, it worked. I've seen it work, and I've seen it fail with the Jags.
Yeah, right. So, I see fake to first. I see. So I feel this is a great drill to hone because if you've seen anything this year, it's this. Yeah, so this is interesting.
Yeah.
If you've seen anything this year, it's men on base. Right?
Yeah, if I've seen one.
If we've seen anything, is men on base for the other team.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, so learning these kind of nuanced is so important.
It's
So
so
he's
important.
running.
Exactly. Does Xavier wear glasses?
He seems
I think
to
he
in
has
practice
glasses on.
here. Yeah,
I've
he
never
seems
noticed that before.
to. No, I think he does
Yeah.
in the game.
Yeah.
He does. So I guess, here we go. You got to throw home. Yeah. I guess the value of this is you're trying to entice that runner home. They have done a great job of, when they're in this situation,
Oh yeah.
getting the guy
They have.
into
I
a
think
pickle
that- I
to
think
score a run.
2 out of 3 times. I
2 out of
think.
3.
Yeah.
Right.
I think.
Very difficult to score, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But what I've never seen in my youth was the way these kids slide head first slide.
Yeah.
Well, that was non-existent for me and Major League. Pete Rose started that.
He was the first, wasn't he?
started
Just violent. He was so
Nobody came
amazing.
in
Yeah.
head first.
When you're scoring a pickle, do you have to do all of it? 5, 4,
I don't.
5.
I
Are you
don't.
supposed to?
Yes.
You really are?
Yes. Yeah, I can't keep up.
So it'd be
especially
6 to 4
with
to
one
5 to 4
camera.
to 5.
Yeah. You tried though this past week or 2 weeks
To
ago.
articulate what it was.
Yeah. You were telling Gabriella
Or Guadalupe.
Guadalupe. I mean, you were
She won't
telling-
be there tomorrow. Friday.
Friday.
I almost wish you knew. No, I think his Chad will be there because it's after work hours. I was saying I wish you knew Game Changer and could score, but
Yeah.
no big deal.
Yeah, I rely on Game Changer a lot. A lot.
Well, I'd love to get. Oh, he's hitting to the outfield.
Jesus. Excuse me.
That's perfect, right? That's perfect.
You like that arm?
Hey, we do it fast enough. That guy's going to be hung every single
Well, Hector just said it. It was perfect. It was right on the bag.
and set up to the outer half line.
And he's using an infielder's glove.
Oh, this is a pitch out.
Pitch out.
Inside, you're going to give my guy a hurt. That's why they call it pitch out. Pitch out. And you cannot lob it. You're trying to get that guy out. You're trying to get an advantage.
Who's on the mound?
That's Tristan.
Who?
Tristan.
Okay, your footwork is off. You're going left. You're going
What?
full right. You're big left. You're crossover with your leg. And you don't have balance. It's got to be a big right. Now watch. I'm standing here. It's got to be a big right. Come on, big right. Out. Because I'm staying anchored in my leg. If you're tall,
Hector was
you
a
don't have
catcher.
nothing in my arm. I have to be here when I throw.
He knows catching. In
Are
the
you on- are
minors.
you on him?
Yeah, we're.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it.
Now. Good. And you have to go to here. So at the same time, ideally,
You know, and Hector doesn't play favorites. Clearly, he doesn't play favorites.
No.
I mean, he's
No.
treating everyone
He shouldn't.
equally. Right,
He
of course not. Yeah.
crossover to left.
They haven't run a pitch out this year at all. Now, I think they're aware this team will test. Well, they'll test.
Right?
They're apparently pretty fast, and they'll test the
And you're
catcher
fucking
early
quick.
to see.
Step first.
Yeah.
And Hector's noted that before and said they will notice how he has a great arm, and then they'll stop running willy-nilly. I want to talk to Gemma's brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, real quick. Okay. Did you guys get that shot yesterday?
Yeah, we got, not yesterday, but we got it a few minutes ago.
Oh, you did? Where the
Yeah.
ball in and then out, the whole thing? How'd it work?
It,
It's hard to
it was
do.
okay. It was hard because due to like latency limitations, but
okay.
between the controller and drone itself,
I see.
it worked out. We can put something together for it.
Here you go. It's always one thing to shoot, another thing to see it, and then edit it. And
Yeah, and then get
you
it.
can
fine.
change the speed. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we've been streaming for 35 minutes to nobody, it appears. But this, like I said, is an
Well,
archive.
it's
But if I
historic.
can get Eric in here, he's always good for, because he's just running him now. So maybe he'll come in and talk to us. We'll see if he'll give us a sense of the. I think he's been working on his speed. He's looking better.
No.
Yeah.
He's on his toes.
I mean, he's beaten out a few this year. I remember this in practice where you don't think baseball can get tiring in a way, but these drills it's tiring to get to third on a ball into the outfield.
He is faster.
Yeah.
And I remember him. There was a drill in basketball that we used to have to do.
Oh, it's
hop, jump, land.
And
Hop,
then-
hop, jump, land. For 20 minutes.
hop, jump, land.
I hated that so
What do they call the one where you go to the free throw line, back to the baseline,
Then
half
you have-
court,
right.
baseline, other free throw? Suicides, I think, basically.
Right.
Because when it's over,
Right.
You-
And then you keep going. You go to the opposite.
Yeah.
And
Free throw,
half,
yeah.
and then free throw, and then
brutal.
done.
so look at what they're trying to do at second, where you hop. You see, you hop into position. Jackson, Elio, Bishop, Fox. Fox is a sophomore, junior, or sophomore.
Who's 12?
That's Shell.
Shell.
This is Hayden.
5. Hayden.
Hayden. This is, what's his name? I forget. Tristan Samano. Jarrett.
Moore.
Diego. Xavier. Xavier's got some wheels.
You know, I remember coming to this field and we saw St. Monica's practicing
St. Monica, yeah.
or playing a game, and I thought, wow,
How big they are.
yeah, compared to our little guys.
So did you see all of last game? Yes.
Yeah.
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 Elio had that beautiful shot to left field. Way out. So this is what we were talking
Wait a
about.
minute. What catch in left field?
No, base
Oh,
hit.
his hit. Oh, yeah.
This is what I was talking about. That green monster out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And look how high that is.
Oh, you can't clear that.
He has had a coach, top level coach, who could.
Really?
Yeah, he was a young guy who showed them it's possible. I watched it. It was pretty crazy. I'm really hanging in here. Oh, we have 3 viewers. I'm excited. Welcome. We're here previewing the week with a practice. Pardon the airport. We're showing top-level midweek practice. They have a big game Friday. I think they've clinched a playoff berth, but they're looking to win the division, the league, on Friday. So we thought we'd come out and look at practice. In addition to the special guest, had a nice long interview with Mr. BLP, Bob Laporte, who's here for the game Friday, the creator of 3-9 Baseball, the host of the live streams. If you're watching and able to post a comment, we'd love to see that, to show Bob what it looks like on my end.
Yeah, right.
If you're logged in and can post a comment, just say hello, tell me where you're listening from, that'd be cool. So he can see what that looks like.
So you have no idea who they are, right? Who
I don't
the
know
viewers
who, maybe I could tap on it and see, I don't know.
are. Well, we got to mention to those 3 loyal viewers.
It's down to 2 now.
Oh,
Yeah.
down to 2. All right.
What did you want
It's
to
a
mention?
big weekend. You know,
No, I did. I just
You
mentioned
know, in
that.
Kansas City, we're waiting for the word
Oh.
about Elio's cousin.
Yeah, Elio's cousin, it's pretty, you don't want to, no guarantees,
No.
but it's pretty, what do you say?
It's pretty certain that
pretty
he will be
certain.
drafted into the NFL
Yeah.
from Iowa.
A tight end, Sam Laporta, Elio's cousin. They communicate. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are dropping, so I'm not sure who tuned in.
Okay.
It's whether or not they're logged in. The team's getting tired. He's working them.
Well, you know, you have to do this
Yeah, you do.
just to get their muscle memory.
Right.
Because some of them are still awkward.
Yeah.
They're not in a baseball world yet, you know? And it takes this kind of repetition, running the bases, that it's second nature. You don't even have to look down at first base. You know you're stepping on it.
No, it's true. You almost know how many steps before you get
Yeah.
there. I'm always amazed by that. That guys getting down to first
I
in the
know.
pros are
Don't even
just,
look.
yeah.
Now, we're still on the old size, right? We're not up to the 15-inch base here. in
Right.
high
I've
school.
commented on that. Right.
Okay.
We're not. So he's going to take a knee. Maybe if we can hang in long enough, we can do an interview with Eric or Justin.
Well, can you stop and start it? It would be two
It
different
would be
videos.
two separate videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if we can listen in.
Here's another team.
That's his top level team. 14. That's his team.
That's Elio's top level team?
Yeah, that's his travel team out there. So he's happy to see him.
Wow.
But you're right. There's a healthy intimidation factor that Hector brings.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. The coaches I ever had just commanded respect.
Yeah, and it's a fine line between pushing, knowing what players need and when.
Well, yeah,
it's an
that's
interesting-
yeah, and the world is probably very different. The athletes today,
Yeah.
than certainly when I was coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm not an athlete. I want to emphasize that. I just observed a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your coaching style was support and love.
Yeah,
And I believe the Cubs record that year.
that's, I think it was 1-13.
Yeah.
We looked
That-
so
that-
good
which
in
doesn't
that first
matter.
game.
Did you win the first game?
Yeah,
And you thought
won
we're
the
on our
very
way.
first game. We're
on
set.
our way.
Yeah, on our way.
Darn it. That's
I don't know
rough.
What happened? Well, we lost Scoop Coop. You know, he went up to the majors.
Right.
This was. Wait a minute. We're talking about two different teams. The Senators were the minors.
No, I know. The Cubs.
The Cubs-
Senators were good. We made it to the championship.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking the Cubs that year.
Looking at those numbers, you know, I'm seeing Greg Nettles, Mickey Mantle, Vic Rashi, I think, was 19. Oh, I may be wrong on that. And I'm talking Yankees here.
Oh,
Bob Turley. You know, it's amazing. I still see numbers, and it's the 79 San Diego Chargers. I can practically name them all.
I recently found your crossword puzzle for the
Yeah.
79 Chargers. I saw a lot of these great charts of the drafts, prospects in the newspaper highlighted who they drafted, who retired in the media guides, the crossword puzzles for the starting lineup, the depth chart, and I thought, I guess Shamu for mayor just ran itself.
Yep, 16 years at SeaWorld. I worked intently 3 years.
No, but you had good people under you.
Good people.
And you were a leader, and you delegated.
I delegated.
And you had the big ideas.
Right.
And there was otherwise a lot of time to meditate.
Well, no, I wrote plays for What Is It? You know, and we did other things.
That's my point. People thought you were working diligently on letters to whatever. What an
That's the
amazing.
problem. We don't have enough people with big ideas. And this is a big idea. The
Which-
Jaguars are a big idea, new roads. And I admire the principal and everybody who's saying, let's do this and do it right.
Yeah.
Very
And to bring in someone like Hector now
very
to do it
fortunate
right.
to have
Yeah.
Hector.
Yeah.
Very fortunate.
Because at a progressive school where It's all about the well-being of the student and not a lot of homework. You know, to bring in a maybe old school coach
Oh, I think
in a
so.
way
I
is
think
kind
so.
of bold, but great to offset, you know, some of the hand holding that may otherwise occur.
Where everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah, that's right. No
Not here.
expectation, and then to see like a Gemma hang in there with it,
Hang
and
in.
for him to use her,
Yes.
you know, in the most appropriate times,
You
situations.
know, I'm watching at home, I'm scoring, I'm saying, hey, Hector, put Gemma in here. Gemma in there.
Yeah.
You
Are
know?
you?
Yeah.
You got moments?
I'm talking
You're
to
choosing.
the screen, you know, let her run for. But he doesn't run up the score.
No.
He's a pro. He's a pro.
It'll be really interesting what the non-league games at the beginning of this season look like next year.
Yes.
Who he is
Yes.
intent to
Yes.
test their skills against.
Yes.
This year, the one opponent, Culver City, was a real early indicator that they have a lot of development to do. Culver City is 2 divisions up, I think.
What are the Jaguars? 3?
What division?
Yeah. What would
They're
they be
in
called?
7th division,
Whoa.
6th or 7th.
Whoa.
Yeah, like Notre Dame, Harvard Westlake,
The ones?
Crespi, they're in the 1st division.
Ones.
But it
What
has a
would-
lot to do with size of school and how many pitchers you're able to pitch in a week. Because imagine if they played 3 games a week.
Oh.
They couldn't.
Yeah, they don't have that depth.
They don't
yet.
have the depth, right? So that's a lot.
Who
Has a lot
works
to do
with
with
the
it.
pitchers? You know,
Hector.
Hector.